Why would anyone vote against releasing files that we've been told, by the way, by the president, by your attorney general, by your director of the FBI, by his deputy director? We have been told by them that these files show the identities of those who knew that Jeffrey Epstein was sexually abusing children. So I hope all of you had a chance to consult your constituents and your conscience, and I hope that you will vote with us when I again offer a simple amendment to release the files. Because either one of two things is true. Either one of two things is true. Either there's nothing here, and Trump made all this up and conned you guys into believing it. In that case, why would you vote against releasing files that don't exist? Or there are files and you guys want to keep them hidden because you're afraid what's in them. Which is it? Which is it? And with that, Madam Chair, I yield back.
I mean, at this point, even writers for bad Hallmark movies are looking at Trump's answers to the Epstein questions as too obvious.
The president said that he floated the idea of a special prosecutor in the Epstein case. Can you confirm that? And has he asked the attorney general to do this, to appoint a special prosecutor to look it over?
Well, the idea was floated from someone in the media to the president. The president would not recommend a special prosecutor in the Epstein case. That's how he feels. And as for his discussions with the attorney general, I'm not sure. Deanna.
Carol, thank you so much. Do you know what the president's reaction was to Mike Johnson saying that he wants additional files released, the Epstein files? Was there a conversation with Mike Johnson about that following his comments?
I won't discuss the president's private conversations with the Speaker of the House, but as I answered to Jackie's question earlier, the president has said if the Attorney General and the Department of Justice and the FBI have any more credible evidence in regards to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes, they should put that forward. He has called on them to do that.
It turns out MAGA is mega mad about Trump not giving them the Epstein files. I mean, it may have been because Trump campaigned on giving them the Epstein files. His attorney general said the Epstein list was on her desk. They handed out folders saying phase 1. And then all of a sudden, there's nothing there. And not only is there nothing there, but evidently it's a Democratic hoax. Didn't you know? This is what Trump tried to tell his supporters as a way of getting them to back off. Well, this is all Obama and Hillary Clinton, never mind the fact that it was his own base. It was him and all the people he appointed into his cabinet that have been perpetuating the idea that there's a lot more information about Jeffrey Epstein that has not yet been released. So you can see on X, all the MAGA people who say they're no longer MAGA, that this is the end. They don't like what Trump is doing. We are seeing a split. We're seeing even Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is always lockstep with Trump, partnering with Massey to get a vote on the House floor about releasing Epstein. We are seeing real cracks in Trump's base. Well, what does Trump do? Well, he does what he does best, and he decides to name call his own supporters. He calls them weak. He's hoping that his usual playbook of intimidating and bullying will work, but instead it's backfiring. It turns out people don't ever like being name called, especially ones. And one social media person said that he'd lost a job and friends, and now to be called a name by Trump, well, that was just too much. He was leaving MAGA. This was Trump's Truth Social post. He says that all of this, as it turns out, is a Democratic hoax, and then says, let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success, because I don't want their support anymore. Basically, kicking people out of MAGA because they're weak, because all of a sudden they're not believing some idea that this is Democratic hoax. Okay, so let's just break down first. Right-wingers are upset, to say the least, about being called weak. Alex Jones is just one of them. He's taking it particularly hard and used just a typical childhood response. He says in his show, after Trump tries to say that he's kicking him out, he says, well, I can't be excommunicated if I was never in it to begin with. So we have these two men, Trump using a childhood bullying tactic to get people in line, and people like Alex Jones saying, well, I was never friends with you anyway. Take a look.
I do like you being a maverick, standing up for the country. We have the same enemies. I respect your stamina and courage. Been a big cheerleader when I agree with what you're doing. But if I'm being excommunicated, let me be clear, I was never in your church to be excommunicated. So you can't excommunicate me because I was never in your church. I was never in a cult.
Perhaps the reason why MAGA isn't getting in line and suddenly believing along with Trump that this is a Democratic hoax is because of the avalanche of evidence that it isn't, including from Trump's own DOJ just a few weeks ago. In that same memo that kind of stirred this all up, where they said they weren't going to release any more information and that Epstein died by suicide. That DOJ memo also says this: the files relating to Epstein include a large volume of images of Epstein, images and videos of victims who are either minors or appear to be minors, and over 10,000 downloaded videos and images of illegal child sex abuse material and other pornography. That doesn't sound like a hoax to me.
But it's certainly impacting his presidency. It's divided the MAGA base. Many conservatives are furious with him and his administration. Trump, of course, is a former close friend of Epstein's. They're furious at him for not releasing the Epstein files as he promised he would. Is it because, as Elon Musk has said, Donald Trump is in the Epstein files?
No, absolutely not. He's in the files. A lot of people in the files. This is if there was something in the files that was particularly damning about Donald Trump, the files would have been released by the Biden administration.
No, not if it was damning about Phil Simpson as well.
Not if it was damning. Can I please just, okay. If it was really damning about Donald Trump, they would have released at least that part. My guess is, and it's an educated guess, is that it's particularly damning of very important people on both sides of the political aisle, which is why Trump doesn't want to release it and why Biden didn't release it either. If it was just about Trump, it would have come out.
You were the chief of staff when Epstein apparently died by suicide.
Is that?
Yeah, you were. Yeah, we checked.
So, yeah.
Trump at the time baselessly suggested that Bill Clinton might have killed him, as he does.
Baselessly?
Okay. You think Bill Clinton might have killed him? Okay. Just checking. I don't know. Bill Clinton on the list? I mean, you were chief of staff at the time. You didn't come out and correct him, so maybe you do share that insane view.
Not my job.
That literally is your job as chief of staff.
No.
You just said the chief of staff controls information coming to Donald Trump.
New reporting is just going to make MAGA double down on having Trump release the Epstein information, because Senator Ron Wyden, a Democrat from Oregon, has evidently been looking into Epstein finances the last few years. And there is new reporting where he says that there are filings from 4 big banks in particular that flagged $1.5 billion in transactions. It says that they include wire transfers for the purchase and sale of artwork for rich friends, fees paid to Epstein by wealthy individuals, and payments to numerous women. So even if the DOJ tries to say that somehow the information they have in their memo is too sensitive for the victims, surely financial transactions aren't too sensitive. So if anything, this story is just getting bigger for Trump, and Trump is going to have a harder and harder time getting out of this story, in particular when we are seeing some of his closest allies break from him and supporters break from him because of his usual typical bullying and lying. But this time it's directed at them.
And now he says, if you're not on board with the Epstein cover-up, I don't want your support. You're a weakling. You. You suck. You are fat. You are a joke. You are stupid. You are not funny. You are not as smart as you think you are. You are, and honestly, and if you watch my show, you know I've been very critical. I've never been this far. This just goes to show this entire thing has been a scam. When we look back on the history of populism in America, we are going to look back on the MAGA movement as the biggest scam in American history. And the liberals were right. The MAGA supporters were had. They were. When we look back in history, we will see Trump as a scam artist who served as a vehicle for this rather than the other way around. We were not the vehicle for Trump. Trump was the vehicle for all of us.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA union made.